It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Give you champagne wishes, caviar dreams. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. We've been offline, taking care of other businesses. I know a lot of people have been wondering, where is Booker T and the boat? We've been missing in action, but we are back now and coming off of Thanksgiving holidays, man. I'm gonna tell you, man, I almost went. Y'all almost lost me. I'm gonna tell you right now because I ate so much turkey, I ate so much dressing. I'm talking about macaroni and cheese, candy yams. I'm talking about the peach cobbler, all that, the rice, and all that. What is that? What's that rice with the cheesy stuff in it? Broccoli rice casserole. Yeah,
there you go. Okay, yeah.
And I tell you, man, I ate so freaking much. I'm still stuffed. How you feel, man?
Yeah, man. Thanksgiving was nice. Here's what the best thing about Thanksgiving was: I ate a bunch, as you did, and then I sat down on the couch to watch a little football. I was watching the Lions, and next thing I know, I fell asleep. And when I woke up, the Cowboys were playing. I was like, wait a minute, what happened? What happened?
You said you watching the TV, but the TV was actually watching you.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
man,
So no, it was nice. You know what I mean? And there was also the Thanksgiving Classic of Survivor Series that went down this weekend. I know NXT Deadline's around the corner. Reality Wrestling Sub-Zero, December the 14th. Your boy's 32nd birthday will be Sub-Zero. That'll be the third time I've spent my birthday doing reality of wrestling, and it's always the best birthday present. And so there's a lot coming up.
Gotta, make it work, man. Nah, man. The ID banner, we just got the ID banner and the WWE ID banners in. We put that up. And it's I tell you, man, like I say, ever since the news broke, it's been fluid around reality wrestling. So many people, wanting to be a part of the road. So many people moving into the Texas City area so they can just be closer to reality of wrestling to try to make their dream come true. It is so freaking awesome right now. I'm looking forward to 2025 as far as what is in store for reality of wrestling in 2025. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, get ready because we're going to be doing some really, really huge events in 2025, and we're planning on taking reality wrestling on the road. So just stay tuned, man. I'm so excited. Like you say, Sub-Zero is coming up here in a couple of weeks on the 14th, December 14th. I'm excited about that. But this weekend, this Saturday, Deadline is going to be heading to Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I was just looking on my phone a minute ago. It's 10 degrees right now in Minneapolis. And right now, man.
Can you do the show via Zoom?
I'm serious, man. My old bones, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. It can tell when I'm in cold weather. I'm in Florida right now, and it's like, I don't know, like 68, and my bones can feel that. I could have told you exactly what the temperature was just by the way my bones feel, you know. So I can only imagine. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm bringing out the leather and the wool when I go to Minneapolis on Saturday. How about
Well, we
that?
don't want to repeat of what happened a few years ago. I remember when you were in Chicago, it was this time last year, right? I think you said you almost was out. That was it for you doing the pre-show there in Chicago for
Oh
Survivor Series.
man, I did almost die, man. I'm still feeling that, man. I don't know what the hell they was thinking putting us out in that Hulk because it was so freaking cold. My mouth was frozen, my hands were frozen. They gave us like these little things to keep our hands warm. You know, you put your hands in your pocket, put them in your pocket. It's supposed to keep you warm. It didn't work. They had like little like those little fan heaters out there. Those little small ones. They had, I don't know, maybe 5 of them out there. They didn't work at all. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know whose bright idea it was to stick us in sub-zero temperatures and expect for us to be. I almost died. I think I got sick after that and everything.
Oh, well, look, we won't have any of that. Hopefully, here in the great state of Texas, because it's been chilly here, but not too bad. So, I hope that we don't have any of that. But have you done anything else since our break? Anything new going on in the world of Booker T? Anything new that you got or anything like that?
You know, I broke down, man. I broke down and we got the Cybertruck, man. I couldn't help it, man. I rode around in it for a couple of days, and it definitely it suits me. It fits me as far as my size and everything too. And I'm getting older too. So to be able to have a car that could drive me around, with that's what a lot of older people are getting Teslas because the car actually drives them. You know what I mean? So I'm falling into that category. But nah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to get back home. Right now, it's in the wrap shop. It's going to be satin black. We got the mud flaps and all that stuff for it. I'm buying all that. The thing is, the Cybertruck. It's like buying one of these devices where you got to go and buy. You still got to buy all the extras.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got like so many damn extras. Just like, say, for instance, the wheel caps. The wheel caps should come on the car, but with the Cybertruck, they don't come. You got to order them. They're separate. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of bells and whistles that comes along with this thing that don't come with the actual truck that you got to actually go out there and purchase. If you want it to look a certain way, they got this one light bar that goes across the front of it, man. It's sweet right across the top, and just all white lights, and they actually dance. And oh man, I was like, man, I got to give me one of them. I got to give me, you know what I mean? So I got to give me one. You know what I mean? They got this little separation gimmick in the back for the back bed. I got to get me one of those, man. They got this one little seating area that you can put in the front of it, where you can just pop the hood, sit in the, the front of it, pop there, listen to the music, It's crazy, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Normally it's nice like to have the self-driving car because normally, like I remember my grandmother got to a certain age to where like the accidents became a little bit more frequent. Right. And you go, hey, grandma, we got to take the keys from you. Right. But this will prevent that conversation.
Yeah.
I don't have to take the keys from Book. You just got to remember, at least you got to remember where you're going.
I got to figure out how to use it. I got to figure out how to use that part of it. I haven't used it just yet. But I just got it. I just picked it up. Took it straight to the wrap shop. And it'll be finished for me on Friday. I pick it up on Friday. I got a little bit of time to drive around on Friday. And then Saturday, I got to get right back out.
What we should do for the YouTube channel is when you get the Cybertruck, we should document the first self-driving trip. That's really what we should do.
Right. Yeah,
to see what the reaction is.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah. But I've been giddy, man. I've been like a little kid at Christmas time. I'm working on getting a wife something brand new for Christmas as well. It's gonna be a good Christmas in the Huffman household this year. So I'm excited. I haven't gotten anything new since 2012. We got my wife a new car, and that was quite some time ago. For her to be riding around in that hoopty.
About 12 years in their book.
I'm serious, man. I'm serious.
I know you made a little scratch during that time.
I made a little bit, but my thing is, man, Charmel is like me. You know, we all off in the kids, working, taking care of everybody else. And sometimes when you're like that, you neglect yourself a little bit. You forget about yourself. Like I say, I got a Hummer back in 2003. That's the last time I got a new car, within 2003. So it's time to upgrade. You know what I mean? We're in this on this last leg. So it's we're gonna need something to help us out. Electric.
It's funny you say that because I just saw this quote from Denzel Washington. And he said there are 3 phases in life. The first phase, you learn. The second phase, you earn. And the third phase, you return. Right? He said those are the 3 stages that you go through in life. And you've done enough learning. You've done enough earning. It's time for you to have a little bit of return on investment for everything that you've been doing over these years.
I just got a message on my phone. My Cybertruck trunk just opened. And no, just let me know the guys are working, diligently to, get my matte black on there so I can get it back.
You should really throw him for a loop and figure out how you could program it to leave right now. Really just be like, what the hell's going on?
I should just mess with them. I can lock the doors and, they can open the bed and I can actually hit a button to close it, so I can just mess with them, But no, man, I think that's the coolest function. And you know what the really, really coolest function, I think, was when I bought it. And we was on the showroom floor and they said, you want to see it dance? And I go, yeah, I want to see it dance, So they literally went in and programmed something in it real quick. And then the song come on, it's bass and real loud. Then the hood will come up, the bed's open, the lights on it turn different colors, and it's just flashing on it. It's amazing. It really is. I go, wow, man, this is nuts. The future. That's what I'm thinking about more than anything. It's the future. It's just like I was at the studio today working, and I'm just bobbing, man. I'm just bouncing. And they wonder, what is he listening to? And he didn't have anything. And these shades, man, these Bose shades, man, coming into the future for me, having music, in my ear all the time, like from this perspective, the hoverboard, the electric bike. I wish I had an electric bike when I was coming up as a kid. It's the greatest thing in the world, So for me, I think it's more so about coming into the future and having just a little piece of that experience, before this life thing's all over with, man. Because a buddy of mine, I told him about it. He's my mechanic, and I told him I was going to be bringing one of my cars back up there so he could sell it for me. He said, "Well, why are you doing that?" I said, "Well, I'm going electric. I'm getting the Cybertruck." And he goes, "Man, you're going to support that guy." And I go, "Look, man, I cannot go through this lifetime making my decisions on politics. I can't do it. I would miss out on so much if I went through this life thinking like that." You know what I mean? So, nah, man, I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about what's next. And hopefully, whatever it is, I get a chance to see it and experience it.
I'm ready for it. But I think we got to take a break, Book, and we're going to talk a little more wrestling.
Yeah, man. You're in the Hall of Fame. Stick around, man. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. Blue Chew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
Let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this: chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it.
Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Like I say, deadline's coming up this weekend. Are you ready, Bradley? Are you ready?
I'm always ready, BT. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the NXT realm. What are you looking most forward to on Deadline? Let me ask you this first. When is this beef between Jada and Lola going to come to a head? Is it going to be there at the Underground? Is that what's going to be? Is this going to be the end?
We got the Underground match coming up this weekend. But to answer your question, I hope never. Oh yeah, man. No, I'm serious, man. There's a whole lot to take in. When those two are in the middle of that square circle doing their thing, man. So
what is that exactly?
No, it's a lot to take in. We just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. But definitely that's the match that you do not want to miss. You want to be tuned in to that matchup right there, because Lola Vice, she has certain assets. Jada Parker, she definitely has that je ne sais quoi. Let's just say that. And yeah, man, it's gonna be good. Underground Saturday night. It's gonna be good. Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's gonna be cold outside, but it's gonna get hot. It's gonna get hot real quick in the building.
But do you look, obviously I know we're joking a little bit, but what's great about the Jada Parker and Lola Vice feud between the two of them is it shows that there can still be compelling stories told in professional wrestling when there's not a championship involved. And this is something that we've seen.
Come on, man. Come on. You talking like, yeah, I get that. I get that.
But what I'm saying is we've seen it in a year of that. Think about CM Punk and Drew. I'm not saying these are the same level of things, but I'm saying CM Punk and Drew, there's no title involved, but you were invested in the story the whole time. When you even think about what's going on between the old bloodline and the new bloodline, there's no title involved, but it's all story implications. And it just is nice to see that we can get to that point in wrestling, to where not everything's about a title.
Yeah, I mean, NXT doing a great job as far as that goes, but I think the talent's doing a great job as well, being able to step up from a character perspective and make fans feel something, like you say, even though they're the championship involved. I think having that extra layer, being able to add, that underground match to Deadline, I think that's just a bonus. Nobody saw this coming, as well as the underground matches. Say or think what you want about the underground match. I think the underground matches has been some of the best matches in NXT.
Yeah,
I really do. I'm serious. I mean, every time I'm talking about from Eddie Thorpe, I call him the king of the underground matches, just because, I mean, that dude, he brings it in that type of match. It seems like he's flawless, in that type of match. And there again, Lola Vice, I'm sure for her, this is going to be a match that's in her comfort zone, combat. Oh yes, at its finest. So I'm looking forward to everything other than that 10-degree weather in Minneapolis, Minnesota. How about that?
Okay, then what else are you looking forward to on there? Because you had those 2 Iron Survivor challenges. We know that.
I think that those 2 matches right there is something I'm really looking forward to as well, just because that match, that Iron Survivor match, it's a very, 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 very unique concept. Man, I wish we would have thought of it. I'm serious. I wish we'd have thought of something like that, as well as that Heritage Cup match. That's really, really even though with a Heritage Cup, it's not in this. I just feel like those two concepts are so freaking cool. They bring the best out of the talent that's a part of it. Just this weekend, Ren Sinclair cashed her ticket to actually be in there. And I tell you, man, she's come through reality of wrestling. I always thought Ren was a star when she came to reality of wrestling. I always said, man, this girl can make it to the next level. And to watch her now, what I always think about and what I always talk about, being able to play that role, play your role until your turn come, till you get your shot. And then when you do get your shot, you make the best of it. She has done that to the best of her ability. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Iron Survivor Challenge and see exactly how that thing play out.
Yeah, no, I like the originality of the concept. And, it's cool to have like this show follow immediately a week after War Games, which is also, its own unique concept. And it's one of the great things that NXT is doing. Now, let me ask you this. Did you get a chance to see any of the War Games?
Didn't.
No, you didn't get a chance to see the War Games. I know we'll take some super chats about it later. But again, such an interesting concept. Having been in the War Games, not the Elimination Chamber, but the War Games, both of them. But the War Games match, that was your first pay-per-view like we've talked about before. What is your most distinct memory of that night? Your first pay-per-view, Houston, Texas. You're in the War Games with legends, including the Shockmaster. What do you remember most about that night?
Well, I mean, it was different for me, man. Getting into the business, you got to know exactly how to play your role. You got to actually know where you're at as far as the pecking order goes. I knew in the War Games match, I was the youngest guy in that match. I knew I was the greenest guy in that match, along with my brother. And I felt like my job was to go out there and make those guys look as good as I could possibly make those guys look. You know what I mean? They were a little bit older, perhaps they were a little bit slower, but I knew if I could go out there and make those guys look as good as they did, in the past, going into that squared circle, I knew that I would get a huge check mark by my name as far as how well I did. And I think that's what I was thinking about more than anything, is getting that check mark and letting the guys, the veterans, understand that I really did belong in that moment. And the reason I say that is because I remember vividly to this day, man, Big Van Vader, he said, do you really feel like you're ready for this moment in the main event, in the pay-per-view, in your first pay-per-view? And I go, man, I've been preparing for this moment for the last 2 years. That's what I told him. In Global, I said, man, I've been preparing for this moment for the last 2 years. I've been working with some of the best guys in the world. Maybe they're not in WCW, maybe they're not in WWE. But I had been working with some of the best talent. I'm talking about the John Mantels. I'm talking about, Hollywood John Tatum's of the world, the Manny Fernandez's of the world. I had worked with some of the best talent out there, the Rod Prices of the world. And for me, that moment there again let me know that I was ready to go out there and do my job. And my job wasn't to go out there and get myself over. My job was to go out there and get everybody else that I possibly could get over in that match. And I think at the end of the day, I think I did that when you go back and watch it, because all I did was bumped, man. All I did was flew. All I did was take the cage. I got beat up more than any match perhaps I ever gotten beat up in. But there again, main event, pay-per-view, first pay-per-view. Awesome. In Houston, Texas. Don't get no better than that.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. Well, we got more to talk about, BT, but it looks like we got to take another break here inside the hall, and we'll come back with some more.
Stick around, man. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker? All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
And guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section in row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, bro.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous, Book. So guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Guarantee. Oh, yes.
Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. We're just chopping it up here for the people that thought we was gone. A lot of people say, "Where's Book and Brad?" They're blasting up out of here, man. But now we're back, man. We're back with a vengeance. Like I said, we've been working, man. We've been working real hard, getting ready for January, getting ready for 2025, getting ready to take over in 2025. This is going to be the best year for Booker T, Brad Gilmore, as well as reality wrestling, as well as here inside the Hall of Fame. Guys are going to be doing a lot of big things, so just stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Absolutely. You know what? Look, speaking of a big year, I wanted to ask you about this, and then we'll get to super chats here in a moment. But just from your perspective, being a talent, having gone through contracts and things like that, I'm not asking you to divulge any about your contract, but just having gone through that, and I've even to a different extent gone through it myself. What do you make of what's going on with this whole Ricky Starks thing? Because and to provide some context, Ricky Stark hasn't been on AEW television since March. His contract was coming up in the summer. AEW decided to exercise an option to keep him under contract for another year, if my math is correct here. So he's probably going to be a free agent spring, summer of 25. He hasn't been on television for the majority of the year, yet he's still under contract and now being blocked from doing certain independents like GCW. He did an interview with Chris Van Vliet where Chris Van Vliet asked him, what's going on? And Ricky Stark said, I wish I knew. I haven't had any conversations with Tony, meaningful ones, since March. And I'm not really sure what's going on either. That's got to be frustrating as a talent from an outsider's perspective looking in, but having been a talent yourself. What do you make of all this? And why are you icing somebody this way? To me, it seems like a punishment for something. That's what I would perceive it to be, but I don't know. And we don't know if Tony Khan's really a punishing type.
I know Ricky Starks had the situation with GCW. I know he's pulled from that show due to some words that Effie. I don't even know who really Effie is, but I've heard the name many, many times. A lot of times they say if your name get there before you do, that's a good thing. So Effie's name has gotten there before he did. Let's just say that. But Effie actually said some disparaging words about AEW. I guess they're drawing power these days, whatnot. I don't know. But he was pulled from that show. But one thing what I've heard, okay, one thing that I've heard, look here, I could be wrong because I don't know. You're talking about contracts, whatnot. I've heard that Tony Khan is paying these guys so much damn money just to sit at home and do nothing. Yeah, take it. Take the money. Take the money and sit back. If Tony Khan doesn't want you to do anything and he's paying you exorbitant amount of monies, take it. You know what I mean? Until the contract is up, and then move on. So that's the way I see it. I say Ricky Starks, he's in a win-win situation as far as I'm concerned. If it's told the way it's been told. And the way it's been told is Tony Khan is paying these guys a whole lot of money. So I can see Tony wanting these guys to, do what he's telling them to do. I mean, he's the boss. Until these guys aren't under contract, till the contract expire, or until he releases them or whatever, they are under his will. That's just the way I see it. Like I say, I don't know the ramifications as far as Ricky Starks, as far as his contract or anything like that. I thought Ricky Starks for a minute was thinking about making the switch and coming over to WWE. I don't know. Because do I think he would fit in WWE main roster? Perhaps. Do I think he could fit in NXT right now? Of course. I mean, just like an Ethan Page, I think he could make a huge difference as far as that roster goes, just because he is very charismatic. I mean, he's a guy that has a upside. As far as Ricky Stark's work, me personally, I haven't really, gotten a chance to really see Ricky Starks go out there and do a whole lot in the ring. But just like Ethan Page, when he came to NXT, I hadn't seen a whole lot of him either. But he showed me what he was worth very, very quickly, almost immediately. I said, man, this is the guy. This is the guy that's coming in at the right time when guys like Ilya Dragunov, is leaving. Guys like Carmelo Hayes is leaving, going to the main roster. I say, this is a guy that can fill that hole, and he's done it very, very well. So a guy like Starks, if he came over, I think he could do the same thing.
But my thing too is I understand they're under contract and they got to do what Tony says and what have you. He's the boss at the end of the day. Totally understandable. And I don't disagree with any of that. But I'll put it to you this way. Like, I bought an Apple Watch, I don't know, earlier this year. I was like, I want an Apple Watch. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm going to get the nice one, expensive one. So I overpaid really for it. I started wearing it. And after a while, I'm like, I don't know if I really like being notified all the time. So I put the thing on the charger, and it sat on the charger for 3 months. And then one morning I went and looked at it and I said, I paid too much for this damn thing to not use it. So I started wearing the Apple Watch, right? Because I said, I'm paying for it. I might as well use it. Same thing to me for Tony Khan. I don't know how much he's paying Ricky Starks, but it can't be you're willing just to throw money away by letting somebody sit at the house, just for the hell of it. So that means there's got to be a reason.
I beg to differ, man. I beg to differ.
There's got to be a reason. Well,
the reason why.
Look, you just bought the Cybertruck and you're just going to park it in the driveway.
I'm a little different, but I think Tony Khan has so much money. You look at a lot of guys who have been sitting on the sideline, just for instance, a Keith Lee. Mm-hmm. When the last time you seen Keith Lee? I would imagine he's still under AEW contract. I think we would have heard about it if he wasn't. Mm-hmm. You think he's getting paid?
I'm sure he's getting paid.
Exactly my point. So I think it's more than than what meets the eye with Tony Khan. I think Tony Khan is living out his childhood dream, and the money is no object. I mean, we got the money. Look at some of you hear about the Mercedes Moné contracts. You hear about the Moxley, contracts. You heard about, Chris Jericho and certain guys, even the, Will Ospreay. Man, I've heard, I could be wrong. I don't know if any of this is true, but seem like these guys that are over there and have these contracts, it seems like they're pretty happy with it.
Well, they might be happy, but Saturday's episode of AEW Collision, which was on at an earlier time, drew 144,000 viewers. A 59%, almost 60% drop from the week before.
What was that? What was that again?
144,000 viewers.
What show was that?
AEW Collision. It was holiday weekend. It was an earlier slot, so we give it a little grace. But compared to 2023, Collision's overall viewership was down 68%, while its 18 to 49 rating was down 78% year over year. So when you say you haven't seen Keith Lee in a while, sounds like a lot of people haven't.
The thing is, those ratings seem like they would be a telltale sign as far as AEW. One thing about AEW, they got a abundance of talent. They got a plethora of talent
so much
over
talent
there in that company. But when you don't know who they are, who they're working, why they're working, it can be very, very confusing trying to watch that show. You know, it's just like this tournament they just had with the girls. And it was so many different organizations that was a part of it. You really didn't, grasp the concept of, is this AEW? Is it a bunch of different groups working together? That kind of stuff. You look at, people like Athena. I would think, I would imagine. I could be wrong, but I would imagine Athena would fit right in to the AEW women's roster.
Yes.
I mean, she's just
and
as
improve
good.
it.
She's just as good or better than anybody on that damn roster, but
Agreed.
you want to stick her in a box and put her in Ring of Honor. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what Tony Khan's concepts are, but if I saw the ratings drop that low, I would be thinking about getting some help or shutting it down. One of the two. I could be wrong.
I think so. Well, I know we have some super chats to get to, but I think we have another break we need to take according to my clock book. I don't know if that's what yours says.
My clock says about 10 minutes. 10 seconds, but we might as well go ahead and get ready to take a break now.
Let's take a break.
You're inside the Hall of Fame. Booker T and Brad Gilmore. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
We'll be back right now because for some reason, here we go. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey everyone, it's Brad Gilmore from the Hall of Fame here with the one and only Booker T, the 5-time WCW champion, and we're excited to talk to you about something that's been a game changer for the both of us. That's HelloFresh.
That's right, Brad. HelloFresh makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable with farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You can skip those tiring trips to the grocery store and dive straight into cooking delicioso meals, man.
Absolutely, Book. HelloFresh offers over 50 recipes and a ton of market items to choose from every single week. You could say goodbye to meal planning woes and hello to convenience. I've been loving their quick and easy recipes. They're ready in 20 minutes or less, which means I can spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying that Texas summer sunshine.
And let me tell you, the fit and wholesome recipes are perfect for keeping you feeling great all summer long. They're balanced pack with fresh produce at under 650 calories per serving. Plus, HelloFresh kids-friendly recipes are picky eater proof. My kids love them.
And here's the best part, BT. If you go to HelloFresh.com/freebooker, that's HelloFresh.com/freebooker right now, you can get one free breakfast item for life. Forever, the entire time you're alive. That is HelloFresh.com/freebooker.
America's #1 meal kit. Baby, trust me, you won't regret it. HelloFresh takes the hassle out of meal planning, shopping, and most of the prep. You just choose your meals, select a delivery date, and get cooking, man.
So what are you waiting for? Go to HelloFresh.com/freebooker. That's HelloFresh.com/freebooker for free breakfast for life. HelloFresh.com/freebooker.
Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. I know we got some super chatters out there. Do we want to get to the super chatters?
Yeah. Why don't we get to him and just talk a little bit? This one comes from John JID999, who's been a member for an entire year. We appreciate you, John. We salute you. I wasn't into the women's war games. If there's not a story, don't have the match. And the garbage can spot, just like, no, I like EO, but that could have gone badly. There was criticism I saw online from fans about the women's war games match in particular, because if, juxtaposed to the men's was all about bloodline versus bloodline, a lot of blood feud there. You have CM Punk in the mix and Paul Heyman. There's a lot of juice and meat on the bone. Whereas the women's one, it did seem like, hey, let's put together like some top faces and some top heels, and let's just have them have a war games match. Now, I credit the women in the match because they did a lot of things that was crazy. Whether it was Tiffany Stratton doing the swanton off the top of the cage, Io Sky doing a backflip with a trash can. I think a lot of the women were very focused on getting like stuff from under the ring before getting into the match.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
which was interesting, like psychology wise. But I mean, yeah, if you were comparing it apples to apples between the two matches, the men's one was stronger than the women's, but the women's went out there and they did what they worked. I mean, you can't take anything away from what they did in the ring. But the story wasn't at the same level as the men's. That's, that's
I get it. I get it. I totally get it. When you just throw a match together and there's no real payoff at the end of the day, why do it? I totally understand that, and I've heard the backlash online as far as participants would come out, they would get something from under the ring before they would actually get in the ring, and they said just about everybody did that. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'd have to look back, but it felt like everybody did it.
Yeah, so that right there definitely almost kind of like giving everything away, letting everybody see, we're just going out here to get our spots in more than anything, so but like you say, the girls always go out there and work so hard and give 110%, so you got to give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, and I also want to bring this up. Jade Cargill apparently injured, according to reports online, definitely written off television for a while. I don't know. There's been people have been wondering if it's real, is it a story? I don't know. It seems like it's real from what I've read online.
You know what? I know one thing, man. These guys these days, when I hear them saying, I'm going to be taking a leave of absence, going to be taking, some time off. That's some new stuff.
Yeah.
That's new, bro. We didn't get that. We didn't get we're going to be taking some time. That's brand new. You know what I mean? So if that is the case, well, guys can take off and take a break, unplug for a second. It's a good thing. I must say that.
It's a great thing, right? I mean, you need to cycle in, cycle out. And aside from that too, the war games in general, I actually thought was a pretty fun show. It was there in Vancouver. A lot of cool things happened in it. But that men's war games match especially was what the show was built around. Mac World YT sent the $20 and said, could we possibly get a row show in Sacramento in the future?
Hey man, I tell you what, get with send us a message, man, because one thing about coming to somewhere like Sacramento, making that trip, and doing something like that, we at Reality Wrestling, we don't, that's coming all the way across the country, but we don't want to step in anybody's backyard without some help. Everywhere we go, we normally Chamber of Commerce normally help us and welcome us, because one thing about Reality Wrestling, we don't like to come in and take away from Sacramento. We want to make sure we build and grow with Sacramento. So if we're going to do something like that, we're going to want to make it a yearly thing, and we're going to want Sacramento to be 100% behind Reality Wrestling and getting something like that done. So if you know someone that could help us facilitate that, get in touch with Kevin Bernhardt at Reality Wrestling. KevBurnTX@hotmail.com. Let's say it like that.
And just like you hadn't gotten a new car since 2001 or whatever it was, Kevin hadn't gotten a new email since 1998. Kev, we got to drop that Hotmail. Hotmail. People start Googling Hotmail now. Something else pops up. You know what I mean? Like, you got to pop it into the future, my guy. All love.
I didn't even think about that, because I had the old email address, for a while, and AOL, the AOL. I still got it.
I was like, Book, I don't even think AOL exists anymore.
It still works. That's so true. It gotta exist.
We're gonna go to our next one. This is from John JD 999. Jerry Jarrett's rule is personal issues draw money.
100%. You can go back to the Matt Hardy leader, situation. I think it was Jeff Hardy. I think that it was as real as it possibly could be, and that angle was hot as it ever could have been. I believe in real issues draw money, but sometimes for me, certain real issues I would try to stay away from. I really would. And the thing is, I've been in those situations to where someone may want me to do something And if I'm against it, I'm gonna say no, 100%. And I've been in that situation where I've had to say no, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's all about your personal boundaries, too. Because I remember his name escapes me right now. We're a well-known actor, but he played Carmine Falcone in the Batman movie, and they wanted him to come do the Penguin series, and he rejected it because he said in the series his character is violent towards women, and he's like, I actually just don't even personally believe in that or even being a part of it. So he turned the role down just because it didn't fit with his value system. So I understand what you're saying in the sense of yes, personal issues are great, but make sure it always aligns, with everyone's value system. This also comes from John JID 999. TK has no concept of what ROI is with contracts, return on investment. I mean, look, the Khan family got some money, so they know something.
I don't think I don't think it's not that he doesn't know. I think he doesn't care. I think when you got that kind of money, man, it's just like, it's easy to go and throw away money when you got money like that. It really is. It's easy to go in. I was just looking at a video, and it was this. I don't know. I guess it's one of these princes over in Dubai, right? And this guy had like a really nice car. I don't know. It was a couple of $1 million. And the prince guy rose up on him and said, how much for your car? And he goes, it's not for sale. And he goes, everything's for sale. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, he was driving off in the guy's car. You know what I mean? Because money talks when you got it, and you got a exorbitant amount, an endless, cash box. I think I heard Tony Khan actually refer to it as his war chest.
There you go.
That right there that's saying, bro, we could go all day with if you want to go that route. So that's the way I see it.
You know what? I don't fully disagree. In our last super chat today, because I know we're running short on time, we got Big Barizo. It says, I love Ridge Holland.
Ridge Holland's about to cash in, man. It's going to be a big night for him Saturday night. I must say, Ridge Holland has done a hell of a job coming back to NXT, reinventing himself. This Ridge Holland is believable as any guy that I've seen going in the middle of that square circle. Do he got to work on his promo skills? Yeah, you know what I mean? But he's got that Irish, overseas accent. We got to work on that. But other than that, Ridge Holland is definitely a guy that is definitely on my radar. I will put Ridge Holland, this latest version of Ridge Holland, in Booker T's Phase 5. All right, how about that?
Boom. There you go. Ridge Holland in the Phase 5 in the Hall of Fame, back in the rotation, BT. I know you're still working on a super secret project, and we had the holidays, but we should be back to our regularly scheduled programming soon.
Yeah, guys, just stay tuned. We will be back in regular rotation. Right now, we're just trying to get through the holidays, the football games, all this stuff, college games, everything preempting us. But we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. I just want to let you guys know that. But I want to thank everybody for getting a little piece of the action, a little champagne wishes, caviar dreams, stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Bradley, for all the heavy lifting as always. And until next time, guys, peace. We love you, and we out.